Israel lost its identity as a nation of God's people. A contest was held at Mount Carmel to prove who the true God was. Elijah fled the country, and by God's power during the doubt, God's punishment for Baal worshippers, that is, they would die by the sword. See? Lessons Christians learn from social justice from the story of Naboth's vineyard. Christians should not use their position in leadership to acquire wealth irregularly. Christians should protect the poor against corrupt leaders. They should safeguard property received through inheritance. They should not be misled by their friends to go against the law. Christians should execute justice. They should condemn all forms of injustices in the society. Christians should champion for the rights of the weak in the society. There is punishment for those who exploit the poor. Christians should be repentant. Christians should expose corrupt leaders. Question 4a. Characteristics of false prophets in the Old Testament. False prophets did not have a divine call. They spoke falsehoods. They prophesied out of their mind. They prophesied what the people wanted to hear. They misled people from the covenant way of life. They hindered the work of true prophets. They worked for material gain. Their prophecies were not fulfilled. B. The teaching of Prophet Amos on Israel election. Israel election was out of God's own initiative. God delivered the Israelites out of bondage in Egypt. He led them during the Exodus. He protected them in the wilderness. He defeated all their enemies. God gave them special land to inherit. God raised prophets among them to lead them in their righteous life. God was to punish the Israelites because of their disobedience. C. Factors that hinder Christians from practicing their faith in God. Lack of role models, job commitment, social injustices, peer pressure, false teachings, greed for power, permissiveness in the society, science and technology, poverty, sickness, influence from mass media, cultural influence, gender bias, generation gap, insecurity, natural calamities. 5a. The measures taken by Nehemiah to restore the Jewish community after the completion of the wall of Jerusalem. Nehemiah organized for the Mosaic law to be read to the people. He led the Jews in the renewal. The people fasted, that is, they held a national day of confession of sins. The covenant was sealed through the signing of the agreement by Nehemiah. He led the people in taking of an oath of obedience to the Mosaic law. Nehemiah redistributed the inhabitants of Jerusalem. He dedicating the walls and the gates of Jerusalem in a ceremonial procession. Through the reading of the law, the Jews isolated themselves from foreigners. Nehemiah brought back the Levites and the singers to their positions. He stopped traders from carrying out commercial activities at the temple gates on the Sabbath day. Nehemiah made the Jews take an oath not to marry children to foreigners. 5b. Why Nehemiah introduced the policy of separating Jews from foreigners. Nehemiah wanted to keep the Jewish community pure. The Jews were a minority group that needed to preserve their identity. Nehemiah wanted to unite the Jews who returned from exile, to solve conflicts over land ownership. Intermarriage would lead the Jews into idolatry. The law of Moses was against association with foreigners. Children born out of intermarriage could not speak the Hebrew language. Religious reforms could not be effectively carried out. 5c. Ways in which the government of Kenya supports church leaders in their work. The government gives financial assistance for development. The government supports church-sponsored institutions by setting land aside for the construction of church facilities. The government allows hosting church workshops by including C.R.E. in the curriculum, by employing some of them as chaplains in education institutions and in the armed forces, organizing national prayer days, supporting leaders in conducting their charitable services through the development of infrastructure. The government has granted permission to the church to operate electronic station. The government recognizes the church calendar. 6a. Causes of death in traditional African communities. Curses, witchcraft, sorcery, breaking of taboos, evil spirits, breaking of an oath, offending the ancestors, natural calamity, wars and raids, old age. 6b. Significance of rituals performed after the death of a person in traditional African communities. Wailing is a sign of announcing death. Making sacrifices to appease the ancestors. Prayers are made to ask the ancestors to accept the dead in the world of spirits. Shaving the members of the bereaved family signifies new life in the community. Singing and dancing depicts anger towards the dead. Washing of the body before burial shows respect to the departed. Burying of the dead in the ancestral land shows that one is still a member of the community. Burying the dead with their personal belongings symbolizes life after death. Driving off livestock shows chasing away the evil spirits which cause death. Fasting is meant to bid farewell to the dead. Breaking of pots symbolizes the disorder brought by death. Sharing of deceased property among relatives is a sign of solidarity. Lighting of fire is chasing away evil spirits. Pouring of libation shows continuity of life. Burying the dead in a particular position signifies protection. 6c. Moral values promoted during funeral ceremonies in traditional African communities. Cooperation, responsibility, respect, obedience, loyalty, honesty, courage, love, faithfulness, hope, thankfulness, self-control, and generosity. Did you understand? Kindly let me know in the comment section below. So let me know what video I can look at tomorrow. Thanks a lot for subscribing and listening to me. God bless you.